My worry is that we have people who are online and who might have joined, and only to find out we are not starting. Can we just check Umamungesi? Is she in the house? I know she was sitting here. Oh, she went out. Thank you very much, colleagues. We are going to start the session that is going to be chaired by Umamu Ngesi, who is the CEO of the ETDP SITA. I am not going to, in jealousy of time, going to go through her profile. She has it in the pack, and you are at liberty to peruse and go through it as you please. Can we give her a round of applause as she's coming to the stage to chair this next session for us?
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me greet everyone this afternoon. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to mention each and everyone, but to our esteemed guests from other countries, once more we greet you, and everyone else in our country, protocol observed. Without wasting much time, colleagues, I have been asked first to allow our Chinese friends to come forward. There is some kind of activity that is very short. They would like to perform. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam the Program Director. And thank you, everybody. Hope you had a good lunch. And I'll take just 5 minutes to introduce the 12 Chinese colleges that are presenting here. And why do I do this? Because a lot of African colleagues are asking us how can we cooperate and what can we do together. So let me introduce them, and I'll give you three specialties or three majors that our Chinese colleagues want to work with you, in particular from each college. First of all, from Henan College of Transportation, they are specialized in automobile testing and maintenance, civil engineering, and logistics. May I ask Mr. Liu Zhiwei to present? Liu Shuji. He is from Henan College of Transportation. And then Shandong Vocational Animal Science and Vet College. They are specialized in animal husbandry, vet health, and food production and industry. May I invite Mr. Li Xuetai? Yeah. All right. And next, Zhengzhou Railway Vocational and Technical College. They are specialized in a lot of specialties related to railway maintenance and service. May I invite Madam Ma Yuxia? Okay, next from Jilin Communications Polytechnic. They are specialized in vehicle testing and maintenance, bridge and highway building, and civil engineering. May I invite Mr. Bie Huishan? Okay. All right, next one, Shanxi Institute of Technology. They are specialized in mechanical engineering, automation, and AI. May I invite Mr. Yang Cong? All right, next, Nanjing Vocational University of Industry Technology. They're specialized in mechanical engineering, computer science and software, cross-border electronic commerce. May I invite Madam Su Xiaodong, who already gave us a presentation in the morning. Okay, next, from Tianjin Vocational Institute. They're specialized in mechanical engineering, telecommunication and information technology, and tourism. May I invite Mr. Li Shuling? Okay, next, Liaoning Railway Vocational and Technical College. They are specialized in railway technology and equipment related to railway. May I invite Ms. Dong Yanan? Okay. Next, Guiyang Vocational and Technical College. They are specialized in railway technology, digital economy, tourism, and hospitality. May I invite Ms. Dai Qiong and Ms. Wu Yan from the college? Okay. Next, Chengde Petroleum College. They're specialized in petrochemical technology, vehicle maintenance and testing, hotel management, and digital operation. May I invite Mr. Wu Argang? Okay, then from Shenzhen Institute of Information, they are specialized in ICT, intellectual manufacturing, railway transportation, and intellectual architecture. May I invite Mr. Xiang Huiqiang and Mr. Wang Xiruo? Last but not least, from Ningbo Polytechnic, they're specialized in electronic information technology, cross-border e-commerce, and tourism. May I invite two beautiful girls, Ms. Zhu Yuying and Ms. Wang Yingting? All right, that's it, and we welcome free communications and dialogue between our South African colleagues and Chinese colleagues in between the meeting sessions. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's our country, China, at its best, or at her best, in ensuring that they communicate, they invite more of us to collaborate in that regard. And just before I start, I just wanted to indicate that ETDP SITA, together with the Tvet colleges, we have taken 41 of the Tvet college students with N6 to study at 4 different universities in China, and one of them is Nanjing. That's part of entrepreneurship development. I just hope the presentation is going to be flighted. What I will do, colleagues, I've tried to cut it very short so that our panel is in a position to come forward and give us those. It will be good that they do so. Under the theme, skilling for growth, development, and poverty reduction through vocational education and training, I will just give a brief introduction because, honestly speaking, my role is to facilitate the debate around skilling for growth, development, and poverty reduction through vocational education and training under the priority, how can the fostering of entrepreneurship skills in a Tvet develop youth employment? How can we use entrepreneurial skills to ensure that our young people are developed? I'm just going to give introductory kind of remarks. Firstly, let me talk to the South African context and confine myself to the Tvet system. It will be just brief to give you the synopsis, and I think more information can be available on request. As we all know that we have 50 public Tvet colleges with about 250 campuses throughout the country. We also have private FET institutions, further education and training, which are also offering technical vocational education and training. The public and private technical and vocational training institutions report to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. In addition to that, we are also having technical high schools, which are under the Ministry of Basic Education. I am trying to show you the challenges that we face, the diversity in our context. 2 ministries, technical vocational education and training, offered in the basic education, and also offered in the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation. With that, we have 2 quality assurance bodies. Quality Council for Trades and Occupations, QCTO. South Africa is notorious on abbreviations and acronyms. We will provide further. And Umalusi for the technical high schools. When we looked into the statistics of the Education Training, Sector Education and Training Authority, ETDP SITA, because we are responsible for ensuring that we compile the sector skills plan and the profiles of each and every employer in the education and training sector. Close to 600,000 enrollments at public Tvet colleges were recorded in 2021. That number should have increased by now, as the Ministry of of Science and Technology, Higher Education and Training is looking at about 1 million enrollments at Tvet colleges. There are varying teaching and learning programs, and there are challenging and inadequate infrastructures as we talk entrepreneurial development. This is the problem statement that I would want to put in, so that when we discuss the topic, we align ourselves to the contextual challenges that we face in the country and learn from other countries. That was the context on the Tvet system. The context, South Africa, general youth unemployment and graduates unemployment. It is said to indicate that we have a high rate of unemployed graduates and graduates that are unemployable. Two things: unemployed graduates and graduates that are unemployable. Among this number of high rate of unemployment, which is recorded officially, 32.9%, that is the official unemployment rate, 32.9% as of 16th of May 2023. Within this number, our young people between the ages 15 and 34 remain vulnerable and constitute 62.1% of the unemployment rate, which then says, out of this 32.9%, 62.1% of it are the young people between the ages 15 and 34. And that group consists what we call not in employment, not in education, not in training. The graduate unemployment rate, initially I spoke about just general unemployment. Within the number, the graduate unemployment rate is sitting at 10.6%. These are the people that are having degrees. And when we grew up, we were told that go to school, get a degree, the job is guaranteed. That is no longer the case. Among the Tvet graduates, N6, to a larger extent, from that 10.6 is about 33%. And it gets worse for those that have gotten the NCV, the National Vocational Certificate. We need solutions. What are the main causes of unemployment, and why should we foster entrepreneurial development in this country? Inadequate education, training, and skills development. Inadequate education. The curriculum that is not addressing the future skills of the world of work. Limited entrepreneurship, going through the subject matter, which is not providing the desired and the requisite skills to be self-actualizing. Mismatched labor supply and development. And demand, it should have been demand. When we have done the research, as all sitters are doing the research in their respective sectors, we have found that the supply for the skills exceeds the demand for skills. Hence, you get many unemployable at this point in time. The lasting impact of the disasters, and there have been many disasters that we have encountered, including COVID-19. A lot of small businesses have gone to be buried, if I can put it that way, because they couldn't survive. Lack of employment opportunities and employer options to choose non-unionized workforce of foreign nationals. And those are in the majority, especially in the tourism, hospitality sector, and cheap labor, I should add. Financial policies that are very stringent, high inflation rates, making it difficult for small businesses to thrive. What then is key to entrepreneurial skills development for employability? There is a long list that I have here, but the challenge of financial assistance is crucial for entrepreneurs seeking to start and grow a business. The curriculum is not addressing entrepreneurial kind of skills. And the kind of the curriculum that we're having needs to be decolonized. The curriculum must focus on the demand for skills in our institutions. And therefore, Tvet colleges can empower young people on fundraising skills so that they don't rely solely on getting to be employed, but self-employment is critical. Colleges, therefore, to sustain the legacy and the future of our young people is to making sure that young people venture into entrepreneurship programs after training, rather than after graduating, they fold their arms and do nothing. And therefore, as we gather here today, looking at growth and development, especially for the young people, how can then we foster entrepreneurial development, education and skills geared towards entrepreneurial development within the Tvet system in order to improve employment and employability, thus reducing unemployment, poverty, and inequalities in our country. Let me therefore get from the experts what are their views on this matter. We have to deal with poverty, deal with unemployment, deal with inequalities, especially for the future of the coming generation. I will call upon all our speakers to come in front to give us their perspectives from the different countries. It will be good if all of them can come forward, those that are on a physical platform, so that we can be able to quickly dispense with matter. Thank you. Miss, what is it? Can I get your book so that I can read? Thank you. How can the fostering of entrepreneurship skills in Tvet develop youth employment? Let us get Ms. Matthews, Deputy Principal, False Bay Tvet College. Over to you, ma'am.
I'm very short. And my laptop just gave in on me. But I'm using my other device, my phone. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Charlene Matthews, Deputy Principal for Academic Services from False Bay Tvet College in the Western Cape. I hope you can see my presentation on the screen. So, youth unemployment in our country is a big, big challenge. During the first quarter of 2023, there was a 1.1% increase in youth unemployment, which took the unemployment rate of youth to 46.5%. And this amounted to 4.9 million young people being unemployed. During the same period, almost 250,000 young people lost their jobs. There are three things that we already know. Entrepreneurship is a critical driver of growth in South Africa. Our economies are not supporting enough wage employment, and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic has exposed and worsened inequality. Although entrepreneurship has the potential to deliver economic growth, entrepreneurs also require supportive ecosystems to fully capitalize to their value. Therefore, our Tvet colleges have an opportunity to enhance their contribution to local population as well as the world of work. So the question is, how can entrepreneurship education in Tvet colleges develop and grow youth employment in our country? By equipping young individuals with necessary entrepreneurial competency, it enables them to create their own ventures, contribute to job creation, and to drive economic growth. It becomes thus important to integrate and infuse entrepreneurship education into the formal Tvet curricula. The role that Tvet colleges can play in fostering entrepreneurship skills is being illustrated by what has already been implemented at some of our Tvet colleges. Entrepreneurship education was introduced to complement academic programs. Early introduction of entrepreneurship into academic programs set the foundation to stimulate entrepreneurial thinking. Therefore, colleges must design a model to foster youth entrepreneurship, as well as their role that they play within that module. And I've done a bit of research and I looked at what is the entrepreneurship needs. And when a college designed the module, you've got to look at the needs that the youth have. And that is access to the market information, skills development, motivation and attitude towards entrepreneurship, coaching and mentoring, technical assistance, as well as policies. The next slide, I'm not sure if they're projecting the slides. Not at all. Anyhow, shall I continue? The next slide is the role that Tvet colleges must place in such a module. So in your module, you have an entrepreneurship needs module. And what is the role that the Tvet must play within that module? And the role that we must play is to deliver, to coordinate, and to advise on the entrepreneurship needs, because they are young students. So I just want to basically, with the next slide, give you an overview of an entrepreneurial module that some of our Tvet colleges are using. Unfortunately, it's not projecting, but I'll read through it for you to understand. So this model consists of 4 legs. And the first leg, which is focusing on the digital technology, the innovative skills, as well as solution. But in essence, you can call it your infrastructure. So this is where a college would then look at the infrastructure when they want to start or implement a center of entrepreneurship. And this center would have different factories. And these factories will be based on, or these factories are factories like engineering, welding, metal finish, or anything that a college wants to actually use in their center of entrepreneurship. In other words, if a student, for example, don't have their own workshop and they can use the factories at the colleges or at the campus to manufacture their own products and to sell their own products. They can also make use of the center's boardrooms and meeting rooms to meet their clients. They can book a space for themselves or the employee. In those center of entrepreneurships is also a maker space, which include like a 3D printer and scanners, and that allow students to design or prototype their products. Within the center is also a technical hub where students, as well as external community entrepreneurs, can have access if they want to use programs or do programming, coding, or web design. So that's an opportunity that they can use. So if the person can go to the next slide, that will explain the module, yes. So the next block would be the business development support and services that's given to the students. So at these Tvet colleges, they offer coaching and mentoring services to the young entrepreneurs. They also have an ecosystem that consists of different partners. For example, if you have a student that you have taken through the process, they don't understand how to maybe register their company with their taxes, the unit will get SARS in to educate them. And then there's also learning programs that the unit offer that can be in person as well as online. The third block, or the third leg of the module, is the entrepreneurship incubation. And here is where the colleges are offering them entrepreneurial competitions among the different campuses. They also offer entrepreneurship booster programs that runs over a period of 12 months or 24 months. These programs are stage-gated programs. In other words, they start at stage 1 and they end at stage 5 or exit level. And these programs also have a huge corporate support which focus on supplier development. And then in the last block, which is the academic learning development programs or non-credit bearing programs. Here the colleges have designed non-credit bearing programs that can be offered over a period of 3 months or 6 months, which relates to entrepreneurship. These programs complement the academic programs. They are also available to our students, and it can be linked to a campus timetable. And these programs are also available for external youth from the community as well. Well, the next slide is just a photo to actually show the audience what these factories look like. And there we go. So that is the factory. There you can see the infrastructure, the workshops, mini factories, a maker space, a technical hub, etc. And the next photo will show you where the student can have a meeting place, a boardroom, and an auditorium. And the next one is just the exhibitions and competitions that's been held across campuses. Tvet colleges are therefore positioned to play a significant role in assisting our students. However, before we can actually start implementing such a module, we must also create an enabling environment. And here's where colleges must or can establish a center of entrepreneurship with a dedicated unit. CEDA, the Small Entrepreneur or Enterprise Development Agency, is currently funding some of our Tvet colleges in South Africa. The Center of Entrepreneur derives their funding from public as well as private sources. Entrepreneurship must be a strategic imperative of a college with set annual deliverables. Appointment of an advisory committee mandated by the council to provide oversight and governance in all aspects related to student entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurial programs, offerings and services must be a complementary value-added program to the academic programs. It is therefore important that entrepreneurship education is supported by the government and is embedded in policy. Partnership and funding are also important enablers. And the benefit that you will reap from having such a center, because it transitions a student into a work-ready employee. Young people can create their own economic opportunities. There is job creation. New jobs can be created through startups and small businesses. An entrepreneurial mindset can also be instilled within existing enterprises. Entrepreneurship education fosters innovation and creativity among our young people, which enable them to identify themselves and take up opportunities in various sectors. It also increases resilience and adaptability, which in turn reduce a person's vulnerability to unemployment. And therefore, to end off in conclusion, Tvet colleges are positioned to be a significant role player in contributing to youth employment. Our mandate is to produce mid-level skills. If our graduates are equipped with entrepreneurial skills, they will become more marketable and more employable. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those recommendations. Now let me ask the Brazil representative. I do not have the name and the surname here. Brazil rep, will that be virtual? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, over to you. Thank you very much.
I'm alive. Let me share my screen. Well, the animal of the film lead with even blue. So there is one and perform who is in his place. Well, I would like to present on myself.
Excuse me, our technical team, can you assist? We can't hear Brazil. Thank you. To our presenter from Brazil, please fix your mic. We can't hear you properly. Please, sir.
Okay, how is the sound about now? Is not okay?
That's much better. Thank you.
Please could you confirm if it's okay or not? Yeah, okay, I had a problem with the sound.
It's better now, you can proceed.
Let's try. Okay, let's try. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please, you can proceed.
Better?
Thank you.
Okay, let's try to continue. So, who generates jobs position in Brazil? More than 75 to 80% of job positions are located in startups and small business, who brings innovations to society. Startups or small business are flexible enough to adapt their operations quickly. Where a young student wants to work, Facebook or IBM, Uber or Tvet. So, when I was a Tvet student, my professor used to say, if you are a good student, you will work for a great company. We must expand this statement to if you are a student, you launch a great company, not work for a great company, but launch a great company. That's our. So how we develop the entrepreneur skills and competence over our. In Brazil, professors cannot be entrepreneur. At the same time, they teach. All research at the same time they teach. Not how it works. How to expect professors to teach something they are forbidden to perform. So we use the research to solve kind of problems. Some problems we have to face to solve. Of being employee instead of being employer. Success is to work for a big company. Traditional classroom is not the adequate environment to taught to anything. Not even the professor are adequate. That's our, that is some problems that are. Some strategies we believe that bring best business incubators with ecosystem mentors, support juniors enterprises with members from many areas, develop more outclass activities where the learning process is centralized on students. Everything is about culture. We need to shift our mindset. We must develop a culture based on leadership and innovation. Thank you very much. I am Leonardo Tvet, and I am Dr. Henrique da Hora from Brazil.
Thank you very much for that. We'll recap later. Let me now call upon the Russian representative, Alexei Paktov, Head, International Cooperation Office. Over to you. Will that be virtual? Over to you.
Excuse me. I will be taking this presentation.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I represent the Center for Tvet Studies and the Institute for Tvet Development. My name is Anna Muravyova, and I'm really very happy to be here and to share with you the presentation about the principal issues. I'll try to be brief. And keep within the allocated time slot of 5 minutes. Okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am. Please proceed.
Right, okay, not to waste more time. So thank you very much for offering this opportunity of being with you and talking to this esteemed audience on issues that are of our mutual concern and interest. So first of all, the overall context, some brief things about the overall context in my country, in Russia, concerning entrepreneurship. We have the national project that's ongoing called Small and Medium Scale Entrepreneurship and Support of Individual Entrepreneurial Initiatives. And this project is expected to yield a 32.5% growth of the share of small and medium scale enterprises or entrepreneurship in the GDP. And it's expected to yield a growth in employment in the sector of small and medium scale entrepreneurship of up to 25 million people by year 2030. Also, youth entrepreneurship, and this is what we're talking about Tvet, youth entrepreneurship is expected to become driver of the sector of small and medium scale entrepreneurship in the medium and long-term perspective. And one factor which contributes a lot to this is, of course, digital economy, platform economy. Youngsters are very agile with adapting to the new situation. According to some estimates, expert estimates, 88% of high school students and school leavers want to start own businesses or already are doing it. Tvet students in the age group of 14 to 18 years can become individual entrepreneurs or self-employed already during their study at the Tvet institution. So this all supports entrepreneurial skills development. Okay? No. So, gosh. Yes. Now, before going kind of deeper into the issue, let's look at what we call entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial skills. They embrace, among others, leadership skills, skill to lead teams of their own choice, practical skills of business communication, entrepreneurial mindset, capacity to launch and run own business, and to ensure effective self-employment. Coupled with such cognitive skills as critical thinking, information and data processing with regard to their business, to their field of activity, creative and designer thinking, as well as their ability to work self-efficiently, to mention but a few. So, and let's look at entrepreneurship education or entrepreneurship as a subject matter. Teaching and learning entrepreneurship is a complicated process, at least we find it so, that embraces knowledge from different areas and breaks out of the bounds of traditional theoretical assumptions and beliefs. Nowadays, learning for entrepreneurship is taking place in conditions of uncertainty we're all immersed in that require agile adaptation to new and rapidly changing situations, coupled with a broad fundamental knowledge in the field of economics and social sciences. Okay? And formats of learning entrepreneurship thus range from classroom activities to activities outside the classroom, to startup projects, social entrepreneurship, innovation-based projects, familiarization with the intricacies of different businesses, case studies, active involvement in the economic life of the local community, etc. Hence, the important precondition for entrepreneurship education is mutually beneficial cooperation with businesses that is conducive to an open dialogue. And I fully agree to my colleagues who spoke before me that it's impossible for people who have not been entrepreneurs to teach entrepreneurship, which sometimes happens. Now, in my country, we have the so-called list of top 50 occupations that enjoy and are expected to enjoy highest demand on the labor market in the immediate and near-term future. And in all of those, practically in all of those occupations, entrepreneurship component has become integrated in the curricula. So, for example, entrepreneurship education or modules are part of the Tvet curricula in such areas of training as commerce, hospitality, design, economics and accounting, preschool education, internet marketing, information systems and programming, just to mention but a few. So, yeah. Sorry. So this is entrepreneurship education. This is how the curricula are coping with it, integrating entrepreneurship modules and qualifications, additional qualifications to graduates. But apart from entrepreneurship education and entrepreneurial skills, as we can see from the list which I briefly outlined before, these entrepreneurial skills are required for all because they're relevant for all occupations and for self-fulfillment in modern life, characterized, like we already said, by uncertainty, with all the ensuing changes, challenges, and risks. And these skills, when developed in all Tvet programs, they are conducive to effective employability and to self-fulfillment. And now the task we are setting ourselves is to have these skills introduced across all of the Tvet programs, which is quite a challenging thing because we have over or about 4,000 Tvet colleges, Tvet institutions, or branches of Tvet within universities. And we need trained teachers to do that. We need lots of resources, financial knowledge base, well, human, as I've already said. But investing in this integration of entrepreneurial skills all across the Tvet system will ensure, and we believe that it will, ensure transformation of Tvet colleges into drivers of change and development. And hence, challenges for the future in the context of what I've said, what I've just said. So we have to speed up the formation of entrepreneurial culture and environment for nurturing entrepreneurs and for fostering entrepreneurial skills. And we have to do that, apart from what I already mentioned, We need enhanced skills of Tvet administrators and teachers, and a changed mindset probably. We have support from research, research and evidence-based support of this transformation. And we have to really integrate in real terms, fostering entrepreneurial skills in all the Tvet programs. Thank you very much for attention. I hope I've been brief enough.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Let me get to the next presenter, India representative. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening, Brics. And today I'm here to present entrepreneurship as a boon in Tvet system. And in India, entrepreneurship is being implemented on a larger scale, and in all our Tvet system, institutions, organizations, entrepreneurship plays a major role. In my first slide, as you can see, the entrepreneurship can play an important role not only in the industrial sector, but also in farm and service sector as well. And in India, we have a large chunk of unemployed youth, and we have, all over India, we have Tvet system, a strong Tvet system. In all the courses, the entrepreneurship module is mandatory as part of employability skills. And our Prime Minister's vision to boost the startups, we have the Startup India and the Stand Up India, where our unemployed youth in Tvet system, they get boost. We have shared the screen. You can see the initiatives of Startup India, where in 16 January 2016, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has rolled out several supporting programs for entrepreneurship, building a robust stand-up ecosystem and transforming India into a country of job creators. Tvet system in India has a large chunk of young and unemployed youth who, in turn, when they turn as entrepreneurs, can benefit as the country on a larger scale. Focus of entrepreneurship in Tvet system, the modules implemented in Tvet system can greatly augment the supply of entrepreneurship. Adoption of entrepreneurship in Tvet sector will be achieved by driving down the unemployed youth of skilled graduates. To improve the self-employment in Tvet system, the modules of entrepreneurship are made compulsory. We have institutions like NISBET and Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, which creates, nurtures, and fosters entrepreneurship. We also have the employability skills module. Please go to the previous slide. Yeah, where in the technical ecosystem, vocational training ecosystem, in all the modes of training, craftsman training, apprenticeship training, DTS, short-term courses, NSDC courses, we have the entrepreneurship as an important module, wherein we cover entrepreneurship, types of business, product and service, market in 21st century, pitching your business. We have various business stories, both success and failures. We have the market scan strategy, final business ideas, and then accounting for business, entrepreneurship mindset, which plays the important role in entrepreneur fostering. Understanding customer needs, we make them build your own business plan. We make a project, and also we tell them the funding of your business. We also tell them what is the difference between a self-employment and an entrepreneurship. And finally, in our Bharat Skill portals, we have blended learning content on employability skills, and part of it is entrepreneurship skills, which plays very important role. As you can see, these are the topics which we cover. We both have the interactive video content, the blended content. We have the short books which are being developed on it. And in India, entrepreneurship in Tvet institutions is being taken up on a very larger scale, with much seriousness. And with this, I thank Brics for giving us the opportunity to present this. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much for sharing such information. Let me now call upon the China representative. Yes. Ms. Ma Yuxia, if my pronunciation is not correct, I experienced the same. I was in China, I was called the Nexus, quite a number of names. President Zhengzhou Railway Vocational and Technical College, over to you, ma'am.
Esteemed Ms. Naxi, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to participate in this forum. Young people are the future of a country and the hope of the nation. Empowering them with knowledge, skills, conviction, courage, and help them face future challenges with confidence not only benefits them, but also determines what the world will look like in the future. Here, I'd like to make a little topic on the topic of engage, enable, empower to build a better future. Firstly, a brief introduction of my college, Zhengzhou Railway Vocational and Technical College. Founded in 1951, we are the earliest institute set aside for the purpose of cultivating train drivers, and are the first independent Tvet college of our national railway system. That is to say, she was born and has prospered along the development of our railway. Over the past 72 years, our college has cultivated more than 200,000 higher talents for the rail transit industry, and is deemed as one of the top 50 higher vocational colleges in China in terms of teaching management and teaching resources. We have attained the WFCP Excellence Award, and this makes us a leading contender of China's Tvet education. Okay. In recent years, following the trend of vocational education reform and the development needs of students, we have set up the School of innovation and entrepreneurship so that we can engage young people in innovation programs, enable them with entrepreneurial skills, and empower them to make a difference in the future. For this, we have taken on a few measures. First of all, we have built up a curriculum system whereby we combine professional education with innovation and entrepreneurship education. Since the beginning of college education, the students are given public compulsory courses such as career development and employment guidance, innovation and entrepreneurship education. And we have imbued innovative thinking, entrepreneurial consciousness, and spirit into all aspects of professional courses teaching so as to stimulate students' awareness of innovation and entrepreneurship. Nearly 50,000 students had benefited from these courses yearly. Secondly, we have established a credit transformation system to encourage students to participate and be more involved in skills, innovation, and entrepreneurship competitions. Any awards taken from these competitions can be converted into their academic grades for GPA. Through continuous efforts, all students have won the first prize in the China University Robot Competition for the past 5 consecutive years. And in the finals of the China International College Students Internet Plus Innovation and Entrepreneurship Competition in 2022, my college won 1 gold award, 1 silver award, and 5 bronze awards, ranking third. Thank you. Ranking third among China's Tvet colleges, and was commended by the Ministry of Education of China. Thirdly, we have invested heavily in building a high-level innovation and entrepreneurship practice platform, the Maker Space, with enterprises and scientific research institutions to give full support to entrepreneurial projects and to incubate startup companies. Since 2021, our Makerspace has served a total of 54 startup teams, sponsored the application of 635 national patents, and has successfully incubated 31 startups. And the educational, scientific, technological, and economic value of innovation and entrepreneurship projects have paid off. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a rapidly changing world where traditional knowledge is not enough to help us overcome the difficulties we encounter. And inherent thinking is not enough to help us cope with future challenges. Therefore, every educator must practice the principles of advancing development with innovation and inspiring the youth to engage in entrepreneurship and empowering the growth of the youth and help them achieve success. Thank you all.
Thank you very much to all our speakers, those that were speaking virtually and also those on face-to-face. There will be a session that will deal with all the summaries later today. So mine is just to thank all of you, and we will get that. The only thing that I would say from all the speakers was that change is imminent. We are living in a rapid changing world of work. It cannot be business as usual. Entrepreneurship development is not something that should be seen aside. It must be part of the curriculum. It must be the strategic planning processes. It must be in our business model as we continue with teaching and learning in our institutions. I thank you very much. We can go.
Can I request Mamunesi and your team to come to the front to come and receive our token of appreciation? No, thank you very much, DP, for the appreciations. We are moving. Mr. Mbulawa, I have nothing personal against you. You may be seated. I have nothing personal against you, especially that you are my chairperson as well in the province. We are really conscious about time. I think in China it's just after 12, it's going for 1 o'clock a.m. at the moment. And it is certainly unfair for our Chinese, not these ones in front of us, but the ones that are in China, to be sitting in the conference at this hour of the morning in terms of the Chinese time. It should be around about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning now. And they still need to go back to work. I don't know what time Chinese work starts. We are going to move sectorial priority number 4 to tomorrow. Because also we have a challenge that Ms. Pai is also leaving tomorrow, and the flight is very early. And we really would have loved to hear what they are going to say. But what we are going to do now is to ask Ms. Liuku, she's sitting somewhere here, to come and take the session that she's supposed to manage, and also request all the presenters to have a 2-minute presentation on what they understand to be the 2 main critical issues or take-homes that emanated from the discussions we had since this morning. I am now going to Mr. Mulawa, you are still going to be on the pictures and on the platform tomorrow. You are not off the hook, but we just want to change so that we can have our delegate from China also giving us their input before they leave for China tomorrow. I'm now handing over to our new chairperson, Meluk.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Priscilla Lehoko. I am the principal of Vuselela Tvet College in the Northwest region in South Africa. Our session is going to be quite short. We are hoping that we end with a bang. So it's going to be a bit different. I will call onto the stage to join me, Dr. Musaba, and our Chinese counterpart, who is supposed to be with us on stage. Thank you, Mem Hey, Mem Pei. Mem is the director of the Department of Tvet Programs and Professional Training, the CEAIE. Thank you, Mem. Dr. Musaba is the principal of the College of Cape Town. You are welcome to the panel. And as we shift things a little bit around, we're also going to change the order in which we've been taking presenters. Instead of starting with our South African counterpart, we will start with Mem Pei. Thank you, Mem. I'm going to give each one of us exactly 5 minutes. No, yes, no minute more or less. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam. Very happy to stand here again. On behalf of CEAIE, I'm pleased to highlight some issues from today's discussions and those that for us to take away home. First of all, please let me congratulate the seminar organizers, the SAPCO leadership, and the SAPCO members who present here today, and of course the DHET, who provided a lot of support to this seminar. And also a lot of congratulations on this successful day of deliberation and the hospitality that you have shown to us. Thank you so much on behalf of the delegation. Today, all of us recognize and also agree that Tvet is increasingly recognized as an effective means of equipping and empowering young people to engage in productive and sustainable livelihoods in a knowledge society and knowledge economy. Today, globalization and technology are becoming important drivers of education reforms. In the current macroeconomic and financial environment, in particular, Tvet is an effective program to accelerate socio-economic development, achieving the SDGs, and empower people with skills that can contribute to prosperity, poverty alleviation, and, of course, leaving no one behind. I would like to bring up 2 items for further consideration of the participants. Firstly, curriculum with the current and future needs of the labor market should be a key priority. Indeed, the current lack of synergy between supply and demand in the labor market has a negative impact on Tvet graduates as well as the industries. This challenge is global and illustrates why Tvet curricula could be structured with agility around the emerging needs for skills in relation to digital and green economy. Secondly, the rapid digitalization of the economy has completely transformed the labor market and affected its skills supply. UNESCO reports have shown that people entering the workforce with Tvet background face some difficulties, and devaluation of skills needed by the economy gradually makes these competences absolute. Tvet and digitalization are associated with changing challenges in work process. To take these developments into account, to support the adaptation process, governments and Tvet providers may offer selected and flexible training for different target groups. Probably, the Brics TCA could organize more discussions and best practice sharing on these above-mentioned topics. So, in addition, I just mentioned two takeaway items or items for your colleagues to discuss further tomorrow. And in addition to that, on behalf of the Secretariat of the Brics TCA, I would like to raise a call for proposal that the TCA would like to support joint research on any topics that are in the field of Tvet innovation and development. And we hope that those joint research can be conducted jointly by the TCA members and also from the Brics member states. The Secretariat is ready to provide some subsidies for the research projects, and it's open to everybody. We really encourage that people can apply for the joint research projects together. You can write to the Secretariat. Thank you. And also, I would like to do some advertisement for the Secretariat for your support. The Secretariat has been organizing a variety of activities for the TCA members, including capacity building webinars, which some of you might already participated, and also Brics student camps, which will take place in September this year, hopefully. And we welcome active participation of members, as well as innovative ideas and proposals for the secretariats to implement. So tomorrow, the delegation will head for Ethiopia for another meeting, and we will attend tomorrow's meeting virtually online on our way to the airport. So welcome to China. We hope to see you sometime in China. And thank you all participants who also participate in this meeting virtually online. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen in here, our panelists that are viewing online, that will be presenting online, I expect to move or to get out of the session that every representative from each country will be expected to highlight two main critical issues. Mem has already said that. These are the take-homes for us, and these issues will be discussed and taken forward by the 2023 Brics Tvet Institution President Forum. And we therefore are going to take the next presenter, which is Brazil, if you're available, Brazil. Can I get an indication if they are here? Not.
Hello, can you hear me?
Thank you so much, we can hear you. You may go ahead. You have, fortunately, just 5 minutes. Please stick to the 5 minutes and give us two main ideas that we can take home with us. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
You may go ahead, sir.
Okay, with the presentation.
Yes, please.
Hi, dear colleagues.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to collaborate with these meetings. The topics that deal with here are extremely important. I'm sure they They will contribute to bring clarity, showing what each one of us has done in order to improve our education. Well, in the next screen, I'm going to present myself. My actual position is Director of Innovation Hub at Fluminense Federal Institute since 2022. Also professor at Fluminense Federal Institute since 1994. I'm a master in operational research and computational intelligence, baccalaureate in production leader. More than 15 years activated as an entrepreneur, working with industry solutions, more than 29 years working with academy and companies, more than 10 years coordinating innovation projects. So what is WBL, Workplace-Based Learning? Is a term of activities that link employers and schools provide special learning experience for students. This experience focuses in broad skill development that apply knowledge, skills learned in the classroom to the real world. Students with disabilities should have the opportunity to participate in WBL programs and that meet their needs. There are some meaning for WBL, but here I highlight some important features that show its main meaning. When I talk about companies and the school relationships,
can I just interject just a bit? Can I interject a bit, sir? We are now at the close of the day, and we are doing the two main issues that are supposed to come from your country that we have to use as a take-home. And I'm aware that you are now on the first one. We will allow you to maybe finish what you wanted to indicate, but forward to us the presentation, because we will need that when we compile our information that goes to our committee. You are not on spot on, you are not talking to the script that we have. Are you aware? Can you hear South Africa, sir?
No,
we are on 4 now.
Can you hear me?
Hello? I need to make a correction. We are going to start with number 4 tomorrow. Today, right now, we are doing the 2 that is supposed to be a take-home. Are you prepared for that? Because in that case, then we have to be fair to all presenters and present on exactly the same items. Do you have the presentation with you?
Sim, tem uma apresentação. Yes, I have the presentation.
Okay, the one with the 2 take-homes. Please do so. It doesn't look like he has. Something is coming up. I see something is coming up.
Sorry, the sound is not so good. Can we repeat, please, what you want exactly? You can speak Portuguese if there's a problem.
Can we move on to the next one in case you have a challenge?
Okay. Okay. I understood.
But you understand what is happening right now. We're moving session 4 to tomorrow. Right now we're doing the end of day 2. which is the two main critical points that are take-homes for us. Do you have that presentation for us? Okay. I suppose we're not understanding each other. Maybe it's time that we move to another presentation. Russia, are you ready? Is Russia in the house? Are you ready? Please.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Can you hear me? Please confirm.
Thank you very much. Please understand we are not doing the priority 4 right now. We're doing the session of the 2 highlights.
Yes, can you hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Alexei Bartov. I'm head of International Cooperation Office, Federal Institute for Development of Vocational Education and Training. Thank you very much to the organizers for this fantastic event. It's very useful to hear the interventions from all our Brics countries, and I'd like to highlight the 2 main items as we consider it to be very important. There's quite a few development goals that were mentioned on the one hand, such as climate change and sustainable development and poverty reduction. And on the other hand, we have different traditions, contexts, and conditions of life in each of the country. And each country has accumulated much experience addressing challenges in each of the discussed thematic priority areas. And it would be very useful to sum up this experience and have a joint electronic publication that would allow all the parties interested and involved in Tvet and the Tvet stakeholders to study and use the findings of their own countries. Also, this publication would help experts from our countries to make systemic conclusions about the correlation of successful decisions and best practices with the context they were implemented in. This would be a conducive and better and evidence-based comprehension of the ongoing processes. And the second one, it would be really useful to organize on a regular basis the exchange of information about relevant Tvet developments in the discussed thematic priority areas in our countries. And I think that will really contribute to better understanding of each other systems and contribute to better cooperation between our countries. This is it from our side. I thank you for your attention and see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you really kept my time. We've managed to spare a few minutes over there. Could you kindly remember to forward us the presentation so that we are able to compile one? Thank you so much. May we call now India representative? We have exactly 5. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, no, we thought of having the key takeaways after the last deliberation, work-based learning. But till today, whatever we have heard, our view is that we may have to main takeaways on digital transformation, and the another one is green initiative. These are all the 2 areas, and we have to get it to micro level and have the best practices from other countries. So our focus shall be on digital transformation and the green initiative, and other things tomorrow we will deliberate and we shall get you the micro level inputs tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's hear what our South African representative has to say to us. Doc? You also have 5 minutes, unfortunately.
Can we see the presentation? Okay. No, there's no presentation. Because if I start talking, I've got 5 minutes, so it must be there before 5 minutes. Is it there now? All protocols observed for those who are tall and those who are like me. Thank you. I would like to tell you the most difficult thing that a person can ever do in a conference like this is to talk about what others have said. It's very difficult. But what is more important is to understand that what you are talking about is not what they've said, but what they've implied. So I may not be using the language that they used. I may be interpreting the language that they have said. So we are talking here about the skilling of growth, development, and poverty reduction through vocational education and training. And what is very clear to us today about the first question of hybrid and blended learning is that there is no barrier anymore. We can go to the next. You are far ahead of me. Or is it me who is doing it? Can we go to the first one? The second one? Right, thank you. So you can see that hybrid learning is about resources. That is what came out. And it is very important for Brics to note that we need to share resources. I was so happy when I was reading that the Brics countries are going to have a common currency. That means it's going to be easy for resources to flow from one country to the other. And hybrid learning is something that we need to talk about, not as individual countries, but as Brics. Next, let's go to the next one. The next one is very funny, as you can see it. And it is saying, Brics family, distance is not a barrier. And our recommendation in South Africa is that we need to start learning across the borders. This issue of using money to go to China should be stopped. We must learn programs that are in China virtually and through hybrid teaching and learning. That is what was being said here. So I'm very glad when I hear the specialized areas that are being discussed from China, from what we call centers of specialization. And our take home is that BRIC member countries should use hybrid learning to increase accessibility to their Tvet institutions by students from all countries. Not to come and say what we are doing, but to come and say, this is what we can give you as member countries. There was also a talk around green skills. And something that came out of it, which is very, very important, is that green skills is about sustainability. And sustainability in its sense is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations. So what we are saying today is if we want really sustainability, we need to develop green economy. And for the green economy to be developed, we need sustainable development. And for sustainable development to be developed, there's consensus that we need green skills to move the green economy amongst the BRICS. That is what was said. And we are saying to the BRICS members, please, we should integrate sustainability strategies and develop a common vocational education curricula that brings sustainable economy across the board. And then we talked about something that is at the center of my heart, entrepreneurship. But what came out that also forced me to look into the dictionary was to say, what is the difference between entrepreneurship and business ownership? Is an entrepreneur a business owner? From what was discussed here, I could not actually see the difference. But to be honest with you, when I researched, I found that an entrepreneur is more than a business owner. An entrepreneur is a problem solver. And the reward for solving problems across the countries is money. You'll be given money as a reward for solving problems. And what we picked up from the member countries is really that we need to develop entrepreneurship skills. We don't teach them. We develop them. We promote them. Identify those with entrepreneurial skills and let's promote them. And our take home is that Brics you need to support the entrepreneurship pathways for skills and sharing of such between BRICS member countries in your curriculum and amongst yourselves. If we have got people who are very good in software, and we know that China is the best, or India is the best country for software development, we need to take them there. South Africa has got talent. We need China to bring those people to learn how the talent is done here. And we develop curriculum for talent, while you are developing curriculum for software. After all, we will be having a common currency, and that currency will enable us to move across. The second one is skills training and impartation of vocational staff amongst BRIC members must be seamless. If we really want to get the skills properly, let's get to the best people. BRICS has got 5 different countries with specialized skills, as we were hearing from this summit. Then we talked about sustainable economy for BRICS Tvet sector. Can you go to the next one, please? The next one. The next one. The next one. Right. So sustainable economy for BRICS Tvet sector should include the following. And this was said yesterday. And this is very important. You find that with universities, we have got the Globalics. And I've been in all these countries where Globalics is taking place. And they are developing knowledge for university. They are developing research for university. And here in Africa, we have got Africa Leaks with 5 years old. And in Asia, they've got Asia Leaks with 18 years old. And the last was done in Taiwan. And our question is, for vocational, what do we have besides this one? What do we have? And the answer is very simple. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. And this is the very second step that we have taken from last year. So we need a catalytic process for BRICS sustainable development in all the 3 sectors. By the way, the economy comes from these 3 sectors. Nowhere else We talk of academism, talentism, and skillism. And here we are for skillism. It's never different from academism. You can't say a person who is generating billions of rands for acting as Jack Chan. You know Jack Chan? Those who watched Jack Chan. Jack, don't worry. Someone wanted to say Ngesi here and said Nineni Kesi. Millions of rands have come into China for that. And when we really need to talk about sustainable economy, we need to talk about such things. And our children yesterday were actually crying and say, talentism is not being looked at. And I took it from there that it is right time for us to learn and to share the talent that is across the Brics. The last part that we would like to talk about is Brics Tvet in the crossroads? Is it at the crossroads? That is what was coming out of us. Are we pushing students to Tvet sector, or we are attracting them? Why is it that we are not attracting them? It's what came out which is very clear, is that the 5 countries were talking about what they are doing in their own silos. China, this is what I'm doing. South Africa, this is what we are doing. And that's what came out very clear. And we are saying this is the beginning of breaking the barrier. And breaking the barrier in the sense that we need to break this barrier and start to talk about talking to each other in terms of curricula. So in closing, we are saying this is the most important step towards synergy. May God bless you. Thank you.
You really talks like a priest, and you took some of my time. But colleagues, this brings us to the end of day 2. We will start tomorrow very early again, as continuing with what needed to be done today, as well as start tomorrow's business. Chairperson, you may take your stage. I am ascending. We will receive the 2 important points from each country. I've already received from China, and South Africa has given us information as well. So we will compile information. Please come through. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No, thank you very much, Mayor Luku, and your entire team. Mr. Muyan. Oh, he's here already. Okay, I didn't see you. Thank you very much. I think you are also catching up with time. We will request the speakers to move to the front to receive a token of our appreciation for all the work that you have done and put in the background. Thank you very much, colleagues. Just a quick note that the program says tomorrow morning we're starting at 10. Tomorrow morning we are starting at 9. And I want those who are joining us online to take note. We are starting 9 o'clock South African time tomorrow morning. I just want to check the 4 a.m. Russia, it will be 10 o'clock a.m. Let me repeat. Russia, we are starting at 10 a.m. India, it will be 12:30 p.m. 12:30 p.m. And in China, it will be 1500 hours. 3 o'clock p.m., 1500 hours in China. It would be appreciated if we could start on time with that. And we will then start with our priority area number 4, led by Mr. Mulawa, so that I can be safe when I have to go back to the Western Cape. We are not concluded yet. We will request the president of SACPO, Professor Putsisi, to come and do some remarks before we close the session. Mayor Putsisi, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, colleagues, and thanks, SG, for the opportunity. The reason why I am standing here, the item is not appearing on the program, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank the CAIA for participation in this program. We learned that tomorrow you are leaving. Yes, and we found it prudent of us as the leadership of the South African Public Colleges Organization, supported by the Department of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, that we express our gratitude for the contribution that you have made. Your presence here made it feel different. We were not celebrating Brics to ourselves, but Brics was here. It made a whole lot of difference, and for the entire delegation, our colleagues, the presidents from different institutions, the representatives of UNESCO who are with you, and the other delegates that were supporting this entire delegation from China, we really want to express our gratitude to you. And there are two most important things that need to happen for the South African colleges to partner with the Chinese institutions. We realized that we had allowed a loose arrangement to happen, and for individuals to approach, their colleague counterparts in China. But we will send out a correspondence to all colleges, and for them to declare. We'll try to make the matching exercise with colleges. What we'll need from you, Ms. Pei, is the list of colleges and their specializations. So that when we send out a letter to our South African colleges, they are able to declare their interests right away in terms of the list of Chinese institutions as stated. We will also not leave out institutions that participated in the Chinese culture. Also, there are institutions whose South African colleges whose students participated in different institutions in China. We'll also make you aware of such so that we are able to take advantage of the skills and capacity built during their stay in China. Our DDG has this outstanding idea that he shared with us of the Brics Games. The president of the Colleges Sports Association, Mr. Aubrey Bosula, also, flagged a number of issues in terms of activities around students, which we would really like you to support that structure. It is a structure under SAPCO. We are promoting sports, arts, and culture. And we would really want to see our students, participating within your institutions with their counterparts in China. The issues of partnerships are key for us as principals of colleges. Our performance agreements are clear. Our minister usually says, if you don't have a partnership, you are a principal of an FET college. It means it's a non-existent institution, not covered by the law as such, because our act talks to the vocational education and training colleges. So we don't want to be principals of FET colleges. We want to be principals of Tvet colleges. That we will continue communicating with as part of Brics, but I'm expressing this words now because you are about to leave. And our regional managers are in the house. Our directors in the department are here from different responsibilities and line functions, which it would be also good. I thought I would see maybe Mr. Vere or somebody from curriculum, because we are also talking issues of curriculum here, where we would start collaborating. But Mr. Stusha is here in any case to talk other matters than just curriculum. There's also governance, Mr. Gaza, our regional managers taking interest in the institutions, the Tvet colleges, which are under their leadership. So I'm flagging these issues for us as we talk, then we take that into consideration. But I would humbly want to request the entire delegation of China to stand up, and we give them the biggest round of applause, colleagues. I don't think it's big enough. I thought I would hear Mudidi Etsani, a flute or whatever. Yep, let's do it the South African way. Yep, go for it. Really, Buha, thank you so much. Baya danki siyabonga, siyabulela. It is really an honor. And exchange cards, business cards, colleagues, and start talking. Don't collect them and put them in your purse and forget. Yep, it happens. But that was my task, SG. And we have some take-homes from today's session, which were supposed to be coming tomorrow. We have taken note of that. That will form part of our action plan moving forward in actioning the decisions and resolutions of this conference, which will inform the next President's Forum in 2024. But it feels good. Are you feeling the same, colleagues? It feels so good. We learned so much, and we could see ourselves in other countries as well. SG, let me hand over before I start preaching. I'm an elder at my church, so it is easy for me to get into the spirit.
No, thank you, President. Fortunately, you are not a bishop or a pastor or a priest. They are here. I would have requested them to intervene spiritually and deal with the matter. But thank you very much, President, for those so important words. so that when the Chinese delegation leaves tomorrow, they are fully aware of our commitment to take this process forward. Colleagues, you are not at liberty to leave. You are requested to now use the opportunity which I had taken away from you during breaks to say it is not time for networking. It was time to get a cup of tea or something to eat. Now is the time for networking. It will not help you in Gauteng to think that you will hit the road now. You will in any way arrive at 6 o'clock where you're going. You might as well have this networking session until 5 o'clock and then start to think about hitting the road. I'm also advising those who are not necessarily coming from Gauteng. You will get stuck in traffic. We are now requesting that you do the networking, you interact, and exchange business cards and so on, so that we make meaningful, use this time meaningfully to do those partnerships. Just before we conclude, and then just before I exercise my power and authority, we want to also have a group photo. I think it will be outside. Where are the photographers? Where would we be able to take a nice group photo? Is it outside in front of the building? Would it be outside in front of the building or in? But in, it's too little space there. Outside. On the stage. Or some on and some off. Okay. It is said that the weather is not good outside. You might as well just do it inside. We will request that we all come to the fore and take a group photo. Let me then conclude by virtue of power and authority vested in me as chairperson of this session, I now adjourn until tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Thank you. Can the photographers please come and do what they are known for best in terms of organizing us in front? We might not understand how these things do. Are you coming to do that, please? Oh, yeah. Matthews. Matthews? Is Matthews in the house? Percy, you can also come, please, my sweetie. Come and help us here.